What up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Guitar Made Easy by Kizito. I hope you guys are good. If this is your first time on this channel, please smash the subscribe button and smash the post notification bell. Okay, this is the channel where we simplify music for beginners. Right. So today, like I said on the last video, we'll be doing like a whole series on music theory. Okay, so this is part 2 of music theory introduction. Okay, so like I said, my friend Eliezer, he's a music artist, producer, beat maker, pianist, literally everything. So he's a maestro. So he'll be teaching you guys about this stuff. So please pay attention, get your books, get your pens, take down notes. And if you have questions in the comment section below, please ask and I'll make sure he answers you as soon as possible. All right. So let's get straight to the video.
All right, guys. So we're going to take off from where we left off the other time. And that was the music stuff, right? If we remember clearly, the music stuff has 5 horizontal lines. Let me just illustrate it for you guys down here. 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces in between them. And like we mentioned before, this is where music is written on or in, right? So some of you might wonder how is music written in these 5 lines that consist of 4 spaces. Well, there's musical symbols that we are gonna learn later on, but before we get into that, we need to understand the music stuff, right? So like we see here, 5 lines and 4 spaces. Now, within the 5 lines and 4 spaces, we have bar lines that separate them. Now, what are bar lines? Bar lines are basically a tool we use to make it easier for us to read the stuff. So it divides it into sections with a vertical line, as you guessed. So this would be a bar line. So in this musical stuff, we have 3 bar lines. So we have 2 sections, if that makes sense. We have 1 bar line the second bar line and the third bar line. Now, because we have 3 bar lines, we now have 2 sections given to us. That's 2 sections. Could be your section 1 or 2, or if you're someone who likes using letters, it could be section A and section B. Alright? Make sense? Cool. So before we even go any further, we should also know or keep in mind that we have something called a double bar line. Alright? So a double bar line marks the end of a section or a song. Alright? So let me just write it down for you. A double bar line marks the end of a section or a song. Simple as that. So let's go back to it. We have a musical stuff that has 5 horizontal lines that consist of 4 spaces, and we have bar lines that divide the stuff that makes it easier for us to read what's going to be written in the stuff, right? So think of bar lines as punctuation marks, if you say, right? The double bar line could be a full stop that marks the end of a sentence. In this case, marks the end of a section or a song. Now, what do we call an area between two bar lines? We call that a measure. Oops, my spelling. A measure. So, like I said, a measure is the area between two bar lines. So it's really important to understand the significance of these lines as we will dive in details with the music theory. So understanding a measure, which in this case we could also call a section, but don't get too complicated with that. Just understand that a measure is the area between two bar lines. We have a bar line and a double bar line, right? The bar line just divides the stuff into sections to make it easier for us to read, and a double bar line marks the end of a section. Like we said, a full stop. Okay? Now, if we want to write more music, and one would ask, the stuff with 5 lines is just too small. And then we have something called ledger lines, right? So let's first start with our basic stuff that has 5 horizontal lines. Let me just make it a bit longer so I'll be able to easily illustrate what ledger lines are. All right. So, for instance, we are writing a song and we want to use a higher pitch or a lower pitch, right? But the stuff only consists of 5 lines. Well, we're in the rescue because we have something called ledger lines. Now, where notes go beyond the range of the stuff, higher or lower, like I mentioned, a small horizontal line is used to show where the stuff would be. For example, this is a ledger line. It could be high or low. It could be 2. It could be 3 or 4. It might go on and on and on, right? Depending on where you want to place your notes, okay? But we'll dive into that later on what note symbols we place on the musical stuff. All right? So, space notes and line notes. That's something we should clear out now. Space notes and line notes, right? So bear in mind the musical stuff is where we write our musical or compose our pieces of songs or melodies, whatever the case is. So obviously these lines and spaces have notes you can add to them. So like in detail we have space notes, which is the 4 spaces in the stuff and in between the ledger lines, right? And we have line notes where we can write symbols on the lines or on the spaces. Okay, so space notes fits on the space of the stuff in between the ledger lines or the horizontal lines in the stuff, and line notes have a line running through them, like this example of a line note, and space notes will have empty circles just for this illustration. Okay, thank you again. Meet you guys in the next lesson.
Alright guys, I hope this video helped you. I sure learned a lot. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any question, please hit it down on the comment section. I will put his Instagram like I said on the first video, and you guys can check his page and check everything he does. But yeah, I will be bringing more of those videos to you guys. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.